Hello, DeAndre. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Tycho with the Blast. And honey, can I just say you have made my quarantine, because I feel like we're still in quarantine. You've made my quarantine so much, like, it's fun. Like, I literally go to your page to get a good laugh.
Wow, I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Like, I don't know if you know, like, you are literally America's like funniest TikToker. Like, you really are just you're just that person. Like, I just love it. So my first question for you is this. Now, the corporate baddie is in the building. How did we get here? Like, how did we get to this stature? How did you find this lane, or did you just happen to just kind of fall into it?
Yeah, like just to be quite honest, when I first moved to Dallas, I graduated from college in May, and then I moved
Okay.
to Dallas to start working. And I didn't know anybody in Dallas, no friends. It was completely new.
Okay.
And honestly, I just kind of wasn't happy, to be honest. I just wasn't happy. I didn't know what to do. And I'm talking to people at work, and they would say things like, "Yeah, I've been working here for 20 plus years." And I'm like, I don't even think I want to work here past a year, and you're working like 20 plus years. so
Exactly. It's a lot.
so I started to kind of focus on doing what I kind of did when I was in college, which was
Mhm.
to I would educate people. Specifically, I went to a historically Black college, so educating people
Where
on.
did you go?
I went to Morehouse.
Come on, Morehouse, period.
Morehouse man, I'm Morehouse man. Yeah. But I was in college, I really killed it when it came to navigating corporate America, how to get your foot in the door, etc. And I said, you know what? I used to always help a lot of people at Morehouse do the same. So I said, why don't I just take this and do it for social media? So I started posting. Originally, I was posting advice people, not advice. I was posting educational type videos. So
Okay.
telling people like this is how you do a resume, this is how you get an interview, etc. Um, and they weren't performing really well. And I was like, I really enjoyed making TikToks. I really enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? I should just, try something new. So I just went left field one day and I was like, this is literally me throughout the day at work, like just slacking off on the computer, etc. And I just did that and it worked really well. That was like, it went super viral. And I was like, OMG, this is super
Yeah.
cool. I had old colleagues texting me, people on Twitter, everywhere, just saying, "Oh my gosh, I see your video, your videos everywhere." And I'm like, "Oh, this is super dope." And I just made another one and another one, and then I kind of pivoted. I was like, "Well, now that I have this like a platform, it was really small. I think I had probably just reached 10K followers,
Mhm.
and I was doing this thing at my job actually on how city can, well, my company act, how they can utilize TikTok within the company. And I was doing a lot of research and I saw that over 70% of the users were on TikTok are Gen Z. So I
Yeah.
said, well, why don't I take my content as a Gen Zer and do these type of videos, corporate videos, but related to the Gen Z audience.
Mhm.
And that is when like everything just went,
Blew up.
yeah.
The one video I really loved that really got me to like be like, oh, I love him. It was the one where like it was a slow-mo one. So like you're looking in the camera, but like the camera kind of is like on a slow motion, and like you're just like kind of giving them like just different ways to be our baddie. And I was at the time like working at an agency, which is kind of corporate. So I was like, oh my, this is me. Like I legit saw myself in you. And people were actually sending me your videos. It's like, yo, like this kind of looks like reminds me of you. And I'm like, yo, like he's great. Like there's literally so many people who are just like that. So I feel like you're very, very relatable. Now you
Thank
did just say you kind of brought it to your job, but like what was their initial reaction? Like were they just like, DeAndre, what's happening here? Like were you a little nervous because you also share, ways to like get off the camera? You also share ways on like how to get to work. So like what was their reaction when they were seeing that kind of content?
So, and to even say, I was really scared at first because I was like, I may lose my job for this. And I was really just going out on a whim. People, specifically Black people. So a lot of the people of color that work at my job, know my content and they love it. They're like, keep going, like you're really good at this, don't stop. And
Yeah.
literally I was working under, I'm in a rotational program. So in my first rotation, I was working under a Black SVP.
Okay.
And he was just like, I love it, like don't stop, keep going. And he was really supportive. And a lot of other people, minorities on the team, were very supportive as well. I've had some shady comments come from um
Uh-huh. Yeah. Right.
had a few comments come from others though, and just not being so supportive. And I remember, like, for example, one colleague said, well, when do you find time to do your work if you're always making videos? Right.
Ew, hater, tomato, 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 boo.
I mean, it was, but honestly, the support always outweighs it all. So everyone was most supportive. The people that I care about and the people that I'm trying to reach, which is, a minority audience, they really enjoyed it. So that was good for me. I didn't care about what anyone else said. And when it comes to like my videos of me off camera and etc., that's not me at work at all. Like I'm
Okay.
actually the type that's always camera ready. I'm always,
Clearly.
So yeah.
Now, being a creative and also having an experience or having the experience in a 9 to 5 position, what are some like the pros and the cons you've experienced in both lanes?
When you say pros and cons, are you referring more so to trying to balance both, or can you
Yeah, like balancing both, like because that could be hard. I mean, there's so many people who are on TikTok, Instagram, but they also got this 9 to 5 corporate job. So how do you balance it all?
the pros I would say to how I balance it is that I'm very organized. So I have a calendar and I keep up. I need to do this today. I need to do this. So I'm very scheduled out. Literally, if you see my calendar, it's insane. Literally from the moment I wake up, it's like get ready, prepare. So it's like brush teeth, blah blah blah, and then gym, and then work, and then
You be
on
in the gym. I know that. We
yeah,
see. Okay.
and then it's like work, and then on my break I'm doing social media stuff. So I'm responding to emails and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So I'm very organized, and that's really how I balance it the most, is staying organized. I will say the biggest pro for doing both is the coins, because they're both coming in. So it's definitely something, it's stressful. I will be honest and say that it is stressful and it's not easy at all. But I really and genuinely enjoy making content. It comes easy to me. I know a lot of people do like content calendars where they plan out their content for a month.
Yeah.
Everything I do is like literally on the fly. I'll just be sitting down, I'm like, oh, let me make that video right quick. And then I'll just make it.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of, as long as it remains fun and I enjoy doing it, and my audience likes what I'm doing and I'm reaching an audience and I'm inspiring people, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean?
And keep being a corporate baddie, period. And clearly it paid off because you got an award, honey. Okay. Now you recently just got an award from Adweek Career for Creator of the Year, which rightfully so. Now, in what way does that victory impact you?
Yeah, it really impacts me a lot. Like like honestly, it means so much to me. And I was talking to my mom about this yesterday. The fact that so many people just resonate with my content, and people,
Yeah.
really believe in me, and they it's, I'm not the only person that's, at my job and etc., that is going through what I'm going through or experiencing what I'm experiencing, or really
Exactly.
being strong on setting those boundaries and etc. There's a lot of other people who are also doing the same thing. So it really meant a lot to me. And then also, like, when I've done interviews and stuff with people who are doing articles specifically like on Gen Zs in the workplace and stuff, what they say a lot is, yeah, we've been doing all this research. And I'm always like, LOL, y'all are doing all this research. And I'm literally just posting videos and looking at the comments and, get to doing the same stuff that y'all are doing. And, so it means a lot. I feel like I'm like a first-hand reporter.
Period. I mean, I would say so. Like you're kind of reporting to the streets, baby, of TikTok. Now, speaking of TikTok, it does have its ups and its downs when it comes to pushing Black content creators sometimes. Sometimes the payment ain't always there like it should be. The rewards tend to go to those who didn't put in the work or mimic another's brand. How do you make sure to keep the corporate baddie persona in your possession, in a sense, so to speak, while risking the fear of someone gaining inspiration and turning it into their own?
Hmm. You know, I feel like, just being honest, I don't really look at it that way. I just know
Okay.
that what's for me is for me,
Mhm.
and it works for me. And I have built such a strong community that
Yeah.
everybody knows it's corporate baddie. So if anybody try, and one thing about my supporters, they also are quick to check somebody too.
Oh, they've in the comments. I know they like to tussle, so you know.
So I'm just like, um, I really don't fixate on that. Really, I just keep pushing myself, and just keep putting out original content and stuff like that. And I feel like people just respect it, and I feel like nobody would really try to do that, but
Right.
if somebody did, just know that the community's after them.
Period. Do you have a name for like the other corporate baddies? Like, do you have like a name for them? Like a hive?
So
Like,
that's the thing with it. I'm the corporate baddie, and they're corporate baddies. So it's like, because
okay.
I'm the originator of the corporate. I won't say I'm the originator of the term, but like I've kind of made it my
You
thing.
are
So I'm
that.
the corporate baddie,
Okay.
right?
So
And
you're
then
like
those are
top notch
corporate
corporate
baddie.
baddie. You're the top notch corporate baddie, and then we're the
Yeah,
corporate baddies. Okay. Period.
yeah.
Period. Okay. I love
And
it.
another one, and for I had to think, I had to get creative too, because a lot of people were like, well, I'm not in corporate, but I love the content. So that's why I have the elite as well. And
Oh, okay.
the elite is everybody. You can be a corporate baddie, or you can be the elite, or you can be both.
I
So
want
yeah,
to be both. Can I be both? I gotta just get
you're
approval.
both.
Okay. I'm an elite and I'm a
You're both.
corporate baddie. Period. Now, you've shared a lot of things that happens in the office that can grind anyone's gears. I mean, one in particular for me that I do not like is the micromanagement because I'd be like, "Ooh, child, like back up." Now, what's one thing that is a part of office culture that really grinds your gears?
It's definitely for me going to be like, especially working in banking, not respecting like work-life balance in a sense. So like I take that super serious. I am a person, I have a life. So like I always say, when it's 5 o'clock, you will see me tomorrow at 9. Simple.
Simple.
So that's definitely the one that grounds my gears. I really hate receiving emails past 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of stuff I don't tolerate, but it's gotten to a point now where people don't really even reach out to me, because not only am I very vocal about that at my job, I'm
Right.
also vocal about it on social media as well. So they like, child, don't even mess with him.
No, because I'm off
So
the
yeah.
clock. Do you? So I see this a lot pop up on Twitter where people are like, oh, well, like your coworkers are not your friends. But then you have people who
Mhm.
feel like they are your friends. So do
Wait,
you
I think you're
feel,
on mute.
oh,
I can't. Okay,
you
okay.
know, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry.
The Zoom be, it's okay. The Zoom be
I
having its
can't hear
own
you.
powers. So on social media, a lot of times people are like conflicted, where it's like, should we be friends with our coworkers? Should we not be friends with our coworkers? So for you, DeAndre, do you feel like friendships in the workplace should be a thing, or do you think that shouldn't occur?
I think it should be a thing, but it should remain as, I feel like friendships in the workplace should definitely be a thing, but I feel like they should remain in the workplace, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
you can be like my 9 to 5 friend, or you just having friends at work. Because when you think about it, when you're at work, you spend a lot of time at your job, probably more time working than you do with other things like personal life, etc. So I just think it's super important that you do feel comfortable at where you work. And I feel like the best way, for, at least for me, to be comfortable and feel welcome at a job is to build relationships with those people I work with. So, building friendships, checking in on each other,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I think that's super important. However, I will say that I feel like a lot of work relationships just shouldn't be brought outside of work. I know some people do it, but me personally, I don't really
Yeah.
vibe with that. And maybe it could be because I work like I'm literally the youngest on my team. Everybody on my team is literally not even exaggerating 50 plus.
Oh,
So it's maybe it's because
wow.
I could. It's like oh, so like maybe it's because I'm just the youngest on my team, where it's like I wouldn't talk. I mean, we have nothing to talk about really outside of work, you know. So
Hand me the papers. We could do lunch, and then I'm clocking out like that. That's why because that's how I think. Like when I was working in corporate, I'm like, listen, Gertrude, girl, like we're cool, 9 to 5, baby. After that, you know. But let's get
but
exactly. But let's get into the fashion because I keep seeing the watch. Can you see the watch real quick? Because the watch is giving. Like, okay, period. Now, I love your style. It's so fun. It's cute. It's cozy. It's comfy. And it still has that luxury essence to it because you're a corporate baddie. Now, where are some places other corporate baddies or the elites should be shopping to get the DeAndre Brown look?
I'll be honest and say that I love me some Zara. I will never turn my back on Zara. I know people like to shade it like, oh, I can't stand Zara. I love Zara. I do Zara. I do ASOS. I like
ASOS, love
love
it.
ASOS. Saks, Farfetch, and Neiman's. Those are all like my favorite go-tos.
I've always been a little scared to do Farfetch.
Really?
Like I could trust it, right? I could just
No, it's really legit. Sometimes when you get things from different countries, sometimes stuff will come from different countries and it becomes a whole process because you have to sign these forms at borders and it's a lot. But
right.
I really do like their stuff. I love how they package it, and I love like it's easy. Like if you need to return something, it's super easy to do so.
Okay, because you said it, I'm gonna take your word for it. Now you posted a voiceover video where you said, "Don't let your class fool you," and how you love a good jam, a good hood jam. Now, what are some hood anthems one may see on the Corporate Baddie playlist?
Um, anything, Lil Baby.
Okay,
It was crazy. I just got rep for Filth on Live the other day because I was like Little Baby, and they were like, "It's not Little Baby, it's Lil." But I love Lil Baby, Lil Durk.
period.
I'm trying to think other hood gems I love. Future, love
I was
Future.
gonna say, like, if
Uh,
it's a hood bop, Future gotta be on the list, baby. Like,
I don't even know how I forgot Future. Love Future. And I love two other people too, but I don't know. It's a lot going on with them right now. So I'm gonna just keep it cute.
right, we're gonna just keep it cute and we're gonna just stick with those three. Um, now you also had another video where you said you gotta have a job if you want to be with me. Now, what does DeAndre look for like in a partner? Like, what are like the key things you gotta have?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm reinventing myself in a sense. So for a very long time I wasn't dating just because I was trying to find myself, and I'm now starting to put myself back out there. Yes,
Period.
singling on the market if anyone's wondering.
Okay.
Let me stop. But what I will say is that I just really, you have to have a strong work ethic because I have a very strong work ethic.
Okay.
um and you need to love what you're doing. Also, like, I just need to be able to relate to you in a sense. You know what I mean? So like work
Okay.
is great, and that it matters to me because like at the end of the day, we still need to live.
Right.
Okay. And yeah, so that matters. Just saying that. But what I will say, other things that I really value in a relationship is someone who sees me and understands me and supports me, and is really gonna make sure that I thrive and always is gonna motivate me regardless of, I can be down or something like that. They're always gonna be there to pull me up. Like
Okay.
that's what I really now am looking for. Um
Okay.
and I'm also now at a place, I know I do a lot of car talks where I'm talking about, people. And it's crazy because all of my car talks that I do on my page come from personal experience because I've been.
No, we can always talk offline because baby. Okay.
But that's why I do the car talks, because I'm using my experience so other people don't have to experience the same thing. So these are just things like now that I'm like changing, I've evolved and I've learned myself and stuff like that. That's really what I value in a person now. And really just being clear and standing clear of red flags
Hmm.
early on and not letting it fly and pass like I used to. So yeah.
I feel like you're talking to me right now, and I'm gonna grab what you just told me and I'm gonna apply it because thank
Apply
you.
it.
We're
I'm telling
gonna
you, it
apply it.
feels so good. And I really be trying to like I have friends now that are still, in the toxic stuff and doing all of that. And I'm always telling them like, y'all don't understand how good it feels to like not have to deal with that. It feels so good. It's so peaceful over here. Like y'all don't want peace.
Right.
I'm
You
gonna,
want to choose violence?
I'm
Like
gonna
you gotta use some peace. We gonna talk.
let's have
Um,
peace. Yes.
but what I will say is that is growth, and I just love to see it. Now, before we wrap up here, Corporate Daddy, I do have some fan questions.
Okay.
This is the first time I ever did the fan question thing with the interview. So I love that it's with you because everyone loves you. So the first fan question comes from, so on Twitter, Marcus Aware. So his question is, what's next for you? Have you considered acting or expanding your platform in other ways?
Yeah, so I feel like what's next for me is, I feel like soon I do want to eventually leave corporate America. It's been great. It's given me my platform, honestly, being in corporate. So that's great. But I
Right.
feel like I just want to be a television personality. So I want to, continue to make videos and post content, but I do want to expand past just social media. And I want to be on television. Um, I really feel like there's a place for me there. And I feel like if I continue to work hard and have faith, that will become a reality.
I think it can. I mean, we have Justin Sylvester on Daily Pop. Karamo just got his like talk show. So I feel like there's a lot of space for us here. I mean, look at this right now. I
Yes,
mean, this was
absolutely.
non-existent like 10 years ago. Another question comes from Miss Two B's. So I was intrigued when you said you loved a good old school jam and you played Aaliyah. So I'm sure the comments was a little bit like in shambles with that one.
They tore me
Now,
in those comments.
okay, now who else is considered old school to you?
um, when I'm let's see. I feel like anybody who made music in like late 90s, early 2000s, in my opinion, is now considered old school. And I know that people won't agree with that, but I only say that because we are in 2022. You're gonna sit here and tell me a song from 2001 is not old school? I don't know. That's just me.
Okay.
I feel like we just need to accept that we are aging. You know what I mean? Like times are changing. And I don't know. That's just my opinion. I know that it's not a how do I say this? It's a not a popular opinion, but
Right.
it was actually great, like even seeing that on social media because there was such a mix. Like people were like, this came out literally 20 years ago. This is old school.
Mhm.
And other people were like, child, this is not old school. So it was good just seeing different people's opinions. And I think that's a conversation that should start to be had a lot now too. Like,
Yes.
let's consider old school, what's not old school. Let's sit down and just
And
reflect.
talk about it. Maybe you should make that your next video. Like,
Maybe that's a good.
what y'all talking about? And make sure you tag Hole, okay? The last fan question comes from VS Soler. Now her question is, what are the most important qualities to have for someone who is trying to successfully climb the corporate ladder?
Yeah. I can't speak much to that for the simple fact that I've only been working in corporate for what, 8 months now. So I don't know when it comes to climbing the corporate ladder, but what I will say is that what I've done and what's working for me, that's getting me, raises and stuff like that. And even if we're gonna climb it in talking about it in aspects where I started as an intern at City
Yeah.
and now I'm working full time and stuff like that. I'll say that the biggest thing to do is to really build connections because at the end of the day, unfortunately, the world we live in is all about who you know and not so much what you know, especially the higher up you get. Like, trust me, I'll be like, y'all don't know nothing. So it's really all about who you know, honestly, especially the higher up you get. So build those connections. Also work hard because working hard will get you in certain doors at work. Like it'll get you invited to certain events with your job and etc. So definitely those are probably the top two. Work hard and connect as much as you can. Always do coffee chats. Always ask people, hey, like, do you want to go out for, lunch or something? I guess that would be like a coffee chat. So yeah, always do coffee chats.
Okay, I love that. Listen, corporate baddie, it was so much fun chatting with you
And
and getting all the corporate baddiness that I needed for the day. And I cannot wait to see the other things you do. Okay.
thank you. I appreciate it. This is
Of course.